Welcome to the Grace Period Podcast, episode 3 here. Grace Period Podcast, where we gather for honest conversations about faith, everyday life, and the grace that carries us through it all. Hope that you think of this podcast like friends sitting down for a cup of coffee, sharing stories, laughing at ourselves, and just leaning into God's grace together. Not sure if you've watched the first 2 episodes, but hope that the expectation here is to have some honesty, some humor, and also just a safe place to ask some hard questions. So yeah, no sermons here, just conversation. Grace period, making room for grace in real life. And like always, this podcast is proudly not sponsored, but this podcast wouldn't exist at all if it wasn't for Christ Lutheran Church here in Visalia, California, clcvisalia.org, and CLC Visalia on Instagram, and we're on Facebook as well. But super, super grateful for the support of Christ Lutheran Church. My name is Noel Thompson, and today we have one of my really good friends, Josh Nauman. Josh, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. You know, you were one of the very first people to kind of start you've always been a big fan of podcasts.
I'm a big consumer of podcasts.
Consumer of podcasts. And I listen to podcasts too, but I think you're one of the very first people I would talk about podcasts in general with.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so really excited to have Josh on here. This won't be his last time either, but how was your Christmas, Josh?
It was crazy and calm and smooth and nuts all at the same time.
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
That is a lot of things. And that's kind of our topic today here, people, is we're going to talk about the holidays, and not just the holidays, but really just growing up as people, as people of faith, and talking about the holidays as kids, as teenagers, as young adults, and then also as partners, spouses, and parents as well. I think it's a wild ride. I don't know about you, but it is a wild ride. I mean, I've only been on this earth 39 years, but just in that 39 years, Josh, it's been a crazy time trying to ride through the holidays.
Yeah, and they've changed a lot. So yeah, so glad that you are joining us here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you subscribe, hit the like button, give us a rating, and share with some friends on the Grace Period Podcast here. We've had a lot of good feedback the last 2 podcasts. I've had a lot of texts actually talking about they had no idea each day is a national day. So we're going to continue that trend, Josh. There's so many every day.
So many every day. The material is endless. So we are recording as I'm checking my watch because I seem to lose track of days during the holidays. It is Tuesday, December 30th, and it is National Bacon Day.
I mean, that isn't that every day.
Every day is National Bacon Day.
It could be.
So here's my question to you. This could cause a rift among our fans. How do you like your bacon? People like their bacon a certain way.
I agree with you that people are very picky about bacon. I am not one of those people.
You just take it as
I will like, if I'm gonna have a plate that has bacon on it, they all need to be the same.
Oh,
so it all needs to be crispy, it all needs to be a little soft, it all needs to be the same. I can't have like one crispy piece and one that's like quote unquote rare.
Okay.
Rare bacon would be a little scary though.
Yeah.
But no, I'll take it either way. I really don't care. I'll chew on it for an hour, or I will have a mouth so dry afterwards I need a glass of milk.
Is there a preference though? Like, do you like really crispy or tender?
So if it's in something,
like a
burger? If it's on a burger, in an omelet or something like that, where I don't have the option of eating it by itself,
okay,
I will take it a little softer. If it's by itself, I would rather have a little crunch.
Okay. I'm more soft than I like my bacon a little more on the softer side. My dad would cook it to basically it would crumble in your mouth to a million pieces.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you right now, however it's presented to me, I'm eating it.
Oh yeah.
Like
I'm not gonna be picky.
Like, I'm picky, but I really don't care. Bacon is bacon. Are you a bacon over sausage guy, or do you like sausage over bacon as far as breakfast?
Breakfast, again, it's a context thing. Like if it's going to be in something, I will probably take bacon in something.
Okay.
But I've really started to get into sausage patties. Yeah. I'm becoming a patty guy.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. I don't even know where I get them now. But
yeah.
I don't like the frozen ones. It's got to be,
the real stuff.
Hand pressed.
Oh
yeah. It's got to have some fingerprints in it.
Okay. When it comes to like breakfast burritos or omelets or sandwiches, I'm sausage.
Okay.
Standalone, I'm bacon.
Okay.
So
links or patties?
Yes.
All right.
I mean,
Good answer.
I'll take it. However, I mean, really.
Any preference on animal?
No. Pork.
Have you ever had beef bacon? I know it's a thing.
I don't know.
I've never had it, but I know it's a thing.
Got to try it. If I have had it, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So, Josh, what's December 31st outside of the obvious New Year's Eve?
Well, apparently it is National Champagne Day.
National Champagne Day, which makes sense.
Makes a little sense. Yeah.
Makes a little sense.
It's also Make Up Your Mind Day, which I don't really get.
When I read that, I was like, I kind of laughed. Like, make up your mind.
Don't interrupt me. It's National Interruptions Day.
It's also No Interruptions Day. I thought, wow, you're gonna wait till the last day of the year to make up your mind?
Yeah.
Like, so National Make Up Your Mind Day is on December 31st, and you're gonna wait till the last day. And it's also No Interruptions Day, which is weird. You're gonna wait till the last day to celebrate those things.
Yeah. What if you could add a day?
Add a day.
What day would you?
I feel like that's a trick question because I got a feeling there's already a day. I don't know.
I got to look up the process and figure out what it takes, like who you have to email to have a day.
Because this website I go to, I think it's literally nationalday.com.
I'm sure.
And there's multiple every single. It's actually very overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't always pick every one.
This is not an exhaustive list for these couple of days.
Yeah. No. So also a little fun fact, on December 31st, people, the first bank opened in the United States of America. President Lincoln admits West Virginia to the Union on December 31st,
That's
dividing
hilarious.
into two states. I actually wrote down on my list, I want to figure out why they divided. Do you know why Virginia divided into two?
I don't, but I just love the fact that he had to admit it.
Yep.
It sounds like he's like, all right, yeah, you're a state, whatever.
Something had to happen. I want to know more. Virginia, do you have any Virginia listeners here? Probably not, but
probably people named Virginia.
Any people who know the history of Virginia and West Virginia, I need to know what happened.
Have you ever been to West Virginia?
No.
I've been to Virginia. I've been to Norfolk.
Well, I don't know. I think I've been to Virginia because I think Washington, D.C., there's parts of that area where you touch Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people fly into Norfolk and then go north to Maryland.
I think
DC
I've been to Virginia
area
without knowing I've been to the Virginia. And then the first,
isn't Jamestown in Virginia?
Sure. Like, I have no idea. First ball also drops in Times Square. I forgot to put the year to that, but also on December 31st, the first ball dropped in Times Square, which makes sense. I was thinking, Josh, I was thinking about New Year's resolutions. Are you a big New Year resolution guy?
I'm not. I was talking to some coworkers today. They're grilling me on what my resolutions are, and I deflected as much as I could, and then they said, "No, what are your resolutions?" And I was like, "I don't really have any. I'm not a big resolution guy because I think I try and make like small goals every day,
right?
And very often I miss those. So how am I going to make this massive one, investing all this stress and energy into it, just to have it falter?"
I feel like people are either huge New Year resolution people or they're not. I'm not either. I think I've tried a couple of times, but obviously it wasn't that important because I don't remember what I tried.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have gotten to the point where I'll take the last couple of weeks of December, first couple of weeks of January, think about what my goals are for the next year.
Right.
But I'm not going to create a plan for any of those during this time period because there's too much going on this time period.
It's a lot. I will say, though, as I just declared, I'm not a big New Year resolution person. And I know this happened to you a year or two ago. I am turning 40 in 2026.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, do I want to set a goal for my 40th year? I don't know.
That's a big one.
I haven't decided yet. I have a couple of days, a couple months, but I was thinking about that. I was thinking like I'm turning 40 in 2026. Who knows how that go? But I was thinking about doing some sort of goal for my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
Josh, I actually did look up here. We got some notes in front of us. I'll be honest, people. I had no idea the origins of New Year's resolutions. So I looked it up, and there's a couple of examples. Josh, what's that first example?
So apparently, the ancient Babylonians
were the first ones to start doing some sort of resolution.
Okay.
Started with a word that I can barely pronounce, Akitu.
Sure.
New Year's Festival, Akitu.
That's how I would pronounce it.
And they use that time of year or that time to make promises to their gods, like paying their debts, returning borrowed items, things that you should probably do anyway. But, sometimes you have to say it to your God.
Yeah, I guess so.
And get it out in front of everything.
And then it says here that the ancient Romans picked it up later.
They pick up everything.
Yeah. We'll start a podcast on the Romans later. I'm not in the mood to get into the whole Rome thing. When January became the first month of the year, they made vows to Janus, the two-faced god of beginnings and endings, looking back on the old year and forward to the new one, which, okay.
I always see that god on the coins, the old Roman coins, the head facing both ways.
And then obviously the early Christian church shifted the focus from promises to God toward reflection and confession and repentance, using the new year as a time to reset spiritually. Obviously, giving up something in the time of Lent and fasting. And so fasting and giving up stuff, sacrificing has always been big in the church. And then today, New Year's resolutions are mostly personal goals about habits, health, and other stuff. And so love to hear your New Year's resolutions, people. Not sure if you're big into it. I think a lot of people just do like no soda or sugar, or I don't know.
Weight loss goals.
Yeah, weight loss, fitness, nutrition.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I have anybody in my life who is a big New Year's resolution. I don't think I do. Do you have any?
I want to say my sister is or was. We haven't talked about it in a while, but I think that's the last person. I've had coworkers here and there that were all about it.
Okay.
But it was always one of those things like, I'd ask them in February or March, how's it going? And
right.
I either get this enthusiastic story of how their journey is going the last 6 or 8 weeks, or don't talk to me about that.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to make a New Year's resolution for this podcast. There's 52 weeks. My goal is 52 podcasts.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is episode 3. So when we enter 2027, which is really weird to say out loud. I want to be on like episode 58.
All right.
So that's my New Year's resolution, people. Hold me accountable out there, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And then I Googled here, what is happening in 2026? I was just very curious. Like, is there anything going on this upcoming year that we should know about? And for those of you who are, I'm already going to cause some drama here, soccer or football fans, we have a World Cup. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is actually happening in the Americas. I didn't know that until I Googled this. It's actually happening here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And that's a big deal for mostly all the world except the United States of America.
I actually went to a World Cup game in '94.
When it was in LA?
Yeah. Well, I was at the stadium. They weren't actually playing, but I have a hat.
You have a hat.
There's a picture of me somewhere.
You were there.
A 1994 World Cup.
Was that
hat.
the women's or men's?
I have no idea.
Was that I know there's a women's one back then.
They're not at the same time?
Oh boy. I don't know.
I thought they were at the same time.
I have no idea. I'll be honest. This might be our first viral moment of this episode. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're different.
You think they're like offsetting years, like winter and summer Olympics?
I think so. I think the men's and women's are different. That's what my gut is telling me. I know for sure the one this year is the men's. I'm sure people are in their car driving right now listening to this, and
I can think of a couple
pounding the steering wheel and be like, Noel and Josh. So what's that next one?
The National Aeronautics and Space Museum in DC is amazing, by the way. If you're ever in the mall,
it's so good.
You got to go to it.
It's so good.
It's beautiful. And apparently they are doing a renovation that is scheduled to open in July of 2026 for their 50th anniversary. When was the last time you were there?
I can vouch the renovation part. I was there last year with our, Jim. I was there with Jim for the Army Navy game. And let me tell you, it was being renovated.
Oh, yeah. Like couldn't get in the door.
A lot of missiles were being it was being renovated. So when I read that, I was like, I can vouch. So
I haven't been since the 8th grade trip.
8th grade trip.
I don't even remember how old I was then, but it's been a minute.
It's also 2026. We have the Winter Olympics. I'm a huge fan of the Winter. I'm a huge fan of the Olympics.
Winter over summer?
Oh,
because summer's coming.
Yeah.
I've been seeing ads for buy tickets. I am definitely getting a ticket to something. I don't care what it is.
I was telling that to someone else. I don't care if it's a kayaking thing.
Yeah, no.
Ping pong.
Right.
Doesn't matter. I'm attending something on
something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have that hat.
We got
and the pins.
We gotta plan that out. We gotta talk that.
All right.
I like them both. It's hard for me to pick. I think I like the Winter Games maybe a little bit more because I feel like, it's a little more parody, if that makes sense. Like it's not always the America dominating everything.
Sure.
It's I feel like we're the underdog sometimes in some of these events.
It kind of feels like also the X Games has kind of taken over the Winter Olympics in some cases. So
so I like the underdog, but that's in Italy this year. And then
it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you know this, it's America's 250th anniversary.
Is that there's a name for 250, isn't there?
Yeah.
Is that sesquicentennial?
Sure.
No, that was
I don't know if you noticed when I did the intro, I didn't say that this is a very smart podcast.
That's true.
I had no idea.
But
I would imagine this next July 4th is going to be a big one. 250 years, America. Celebrate. And then we have some eclipses. Did I say that right? Eclipses?
What's the plural of eclipse?
No.
Eclipse.
Again, not smart here. But we have a couple. What's that first one?
We have a total solar eclipse happening in August. We're not going to see it though.
Good news, bad news.
We're not going to see it.
Well, depends.
I would love a trip to Iceland. Let's record a podcast from Iceland.
That's right.
Let's do it.
August 12th.
But mid of August, August 12th, if you're in Greenland, Iceland, or northern Spain, apparently, which I feel like there's stuff in between those things.
Why isn't England included in that?
Exactly. Or Ireland. I mean, maybe they're not going to have that's like the path of totality, probably is a fancy term for
not a very smart podcast.
I'm gonna go with that. I've heard path of totality, and I am going to lean on that.
We're gonna roll with that.
Yeah. So that's happening. Apparently it happens once every 18 months in different parts of the world because the world is round and spinning and things happen that way.
Things are happening.
And then we have a lunar eclipse happening too, which actually happens before that solar eclipse.
March 3rd. Sometimes called a blood moon. It'll be visible widely. Oh, good news. Widely across the Americas, Asia, Australia, and the Pacific. So really, that's like half the world.
That includes us.
Yep. So while lunar eclipses recur, the particular combination of path and timing is unique in the near future. So save the date, people. March 3rd, we have a blood moon lunar eclipse. And I'll tell you right now, not really a big fan of that name if you're telling your 5-year-old blood moon. Yeah. Because the imagination of a child will run with it. Let me tell you that right now. So a couple eclipses here in 2026. So that's all we have. Anything else in 2026? Anything on your end that you're looking forward to, or as we enter the new year?
I can't. The biggest thing I've been doing is I'm in the path, or I'm in the state of my career where I have to plan my vacations out like 2 years in advance.
Wow.
So I'm already looking at summer 2026 and what we're doing and where we're going. I still don't know what, but we have a when kind of figured out.
Okay.
So that's been the biggest thing.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Random stat of the day. Josh, read that for the viewers here.
Octopuses.
Yep.
Octopi have 3 hearts, and 2 of them, this is the most interesting part of this random stat of the day.
Yeah.
Is that 2 of the hearts are not beating when they swim. So I have a couple questions about this, and there's no follow-up information. So this is coming off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Is when are octopuses not swimming?
I think they crawl.
Is it when they're crawling?
Yeah.
So those hearts are not beating when they're just in open water?
Yeah. I tried to do a follow-up to this, and then it gave me a paragraph.
It wasn't worth reading.
I was so confused. I literally read the stat, and I tried to comprehended it like 5 times. I wasted a lot of energy being like just trying to figure this out. But that's what make octopuses really cool, though. Like they're
already amazing.
I've seen videos of them just doing some really wicked smart things.
Yeah.
but they have 3 hearts and 2 of them stop beating when they swim. I don't know. That kind of sounds like cheating. I feel like octopuses they're cheating out there. They're too smart. I mean, they already have 8, tentacles. Like, goodness gracious. They're just not supreme predators. Well, they're predators, but
that's an extremely evolved creature right there.
Yeah. Yeah, which makes sense. You think about pirates or like folklore. I bet, imagine hundreds and hundreds of years ago, seeing like a huge octopus.
Oh, and those giant squids that wash up on the shore today.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Like 30 feet long.
Being like seeing that. And no wonder people thought there were...
That's a sea monster.
Monsters in the water.
Yeah. That's a kraken.
I mean, I'm scared. I've seen octopuses, obviously, in the aquariums. And I'm not going to say they freak me out, but
I've seen them in the tide pools and like crawl up on my foot when I'm trying to
They're
fish.
not necessarily the most beautiful things. They are kind of...
They'll sneak up on you.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
They're intimidating.
Some of them are dangerous too, I think.
Everything in the ocean is dangerous.
Like coming from a true Minnesotan.
Yeah,
right
I don't trust it. Don't trust it. So, well, there you have it, people. We have our national days. Hope you eat some bacon. Hope you're having a good New Year's Eve. Hopefully you're making up your mind.
You keep listening to this.
Happy birthday, West Virginia, tomorrow. And if you have some New Year's resolutions, let us know. Hit the comment section. That'd be great. And as we are looking forward to the year 2026, we got some big things, obviously. The FIFA World Cup, Olympic Games. It is America's 250th birthday on July 4th. And then also we got some eclipses in August and in March. So it's that weird time of year, where the year is ending and we have a new one upon us. And like Josh was saying, some of us are planning well ahead, and sometimes some of us are, all of our summers are already planned or not planned. And it's just an interesting time. But these last couple months, though, I don't know. The fall is always crazy. And I think the fall is one of my favorite times of year, selfishly. I think you have the start of school. I love the weather. I love the weather of fall in California and in Minnesota. So you have the summer heat ending and the fall cooler weather coming eventually. The start of the school year. And then this obviously tells you a little bit about me and my passions, but I love football. Football starts, and postseason baseball, and then hockey eventually starts. So, like,
do you get to enjoy postseason baseball every year?
No. I boycotted baseball this year.
That's a bummer.
We'll start a faith sports podcast, and each episode will be 3 hours long. But as far as like a sports fan, like the fall is kind of the best. But then you also have like the 3 biggest holidays of the year in the fall. And so October is Halloween, which again is like a family holiday if you have kids, right? And obviously it's a holiday where everyone celebrated when they were a kid, and now people celebrate it as an adult differently. And then that's in October, obviously. And then November is Thanksgiving, the 4th Thursday of November. And Thanksgiving is, again, a big family holiday, includes a lot of travel and a meal and different traditions of that. And people also have, like, usually, school off or work off Thanksgiving. And then, gosh, a month after Thanksgiving, you have Christmas. And then right after Christmas, obviously, is New Year's. And then, boom, you're in January, and you kind of have a few holidays after the New Year. But I have spent, I don't know about you, Josh, but lately I have spent a lot of time, and I mean truly a lot of time, pondering and thinking about just the holidays in general. And what I mean by the holidays is like the last 3 months. And now that I've been a husband now for 15 years. I have a 14-year-old. I've just been really pondering and thinking and meditating, just thinking a lot about how the holidays have changed since I was 5 and 10 and 15, 20. And now as a father of 3 and as a husband. And I don't know, man, it's like my mind has kind of been on a roller coaster of emotions. Like I've had feelings of sadness. I've had feelings of grief, also feelings of joy. And so it's truly been a roller coaster as I've been trying to think about how the holidays have changed since I was a little kid again, as a teenager to a young adult and to now. And maybe sometimes I dive too deep into the whole life thing. But I do, I think about how the holidays has changed. And then as I ponder and think about how the holidays has changed, I view it in a perspective or in a lens of faith, about how as a 5-year-old in Minnesota, now I'm here in Visalia, California, and how God has kind of, been there for me or with me or provided me with certain things or has helped me. I just been thinking about what God has done in my life and moved in my life. And I don't know, I just been thinking about this. And so I just kind of thought today was a great episode, or that this would be a great topic for today's episode, because we are in the middle of Christmas and New Year's. Christmas was 5 days ago. New Year's is a couple of days ago. And I guess to start off this conversation, Josh, like, am I the only one? I mean, you're a couple years older than me. You're a great husband. You're a great father. You come from a family as well of siblings and different makeup like that. But am I the only one? I don't know if I'm going through a midlife crisis. Again, I turned 40 next year.
Keep telling yourself that.
I don't know if I'm going through a midlife crisis, but am I the only one who's been like riding this wave of holiday reflection?
Absolutely not. No, it's what I find myself doing more often than not is thinking about, like you said, what the holidays were like for me when I was a kid, what I can remember, and what I want to bring forward, and what it would like the kind of things I want my son to have. What I struggle the most with is the expectations I put on myself for those holidays.
Right.
Like what I expect to happen versus what I'm capable of making happen, or what is actually going to happen in reality. Those are 3 very different things.
Yep.
So, no, you're definitely not alone. I think we all think about that kind of stuff going forward, especially when you have other people depending on you to make the holidays happen. Because otherwise it's just another day. Like if I didn't tell my son that Christmas was coming, or that he's been obsessed with New Year's lately too. I can't figure out why he wants to have New Year's every single night. I'm like, no, dude.
Amen.
It'll happen eventually. But if he didn't know it, it would just be another Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it is this year. So
I think the hardest, I was sharing this with some youth the other day. I think the hardest part for me was like age 16. I think when you're 5, you don't know any better. You get in the car.
You have no control.
You go to your grandma's house and your whole family's there.
You get that check from your grandma that you don't know what to do with.
Your mom makes your plate.
Yeah.
You play with your cousins. You don't really pay attention to what your aunts and uncles were saying.
You probably cried at least once or twice.
You know what I mean? And for me, I just did that. And I just played with my cousins. Then at age 16, you start hearing what your aunts and uncles are saying. You get more of a sense of family drama.
Oh yeah.
Or tension more than anything.
You start being able to feel it.
You view like aunts and uncles say things that, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's almost like your ears are now turned on at age 16, and you kind of have more of a mind of like, that wasn't nice, or that was mean, or why did my aunt say this, or why did my uncle say that? And so I remember distinctly being a teenager and being like, my family's not perfect. Because I think when you're at 5 or 6, you just don't know better. You don't know better. I very remember vividly being an older teenager and being like, like holidays are different at age 16. Did you ever go through that?
Oh yeah, I can definitely remember I had similar experiences, but I remembered not knowing when I was supposed to interject.
Oh.
You get to those teenage years and you're like, wait, am I just overhearing this, or am I part of this conversation?
Right.
And I mean, I know these people raised me.
Yep.
But I don't know if I'm supposed to correct them, because at that age, that's all you want to do is correct them.
Right.
Like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you said. You're wrong.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge I distinctly remember in those buzzword formative years.
Was there a certain holiday growing up that your family just kind of went a little bit more like
they celebrated more or emphasized more, or was there a certain tradition or holiday where your family was bigger than other holidays?
I've been thinking about that too, and I can't nail one down. I mean, we had big Thanksgivings. That was probably a big one where we all were in the same room at the same time.
Yep.
I have a relatively small family. I'm the middle of three grandkids to my grandparents on my mom's side. My dad's side has a massive family that I've never met.
Yep.
But I was never really a part of them, and not any fault of theirs or ours. We just lived in different states, and my parents got divorced when I was really young, so didn't get to meet them. So I had, and from my point of view, I had two cousins, one a little bit older, one a little bit younger, which was kind of perfect.
Yep.
We played board. I can remember playing the same like 70-year-old sorry game, and that my grandparents had stashed in their closet every year. And that came out every Thanksgiving. They put a massive table in their bar / den / converted garage.
Yeah.
And that's where we all sat. And that happened every single year until us grandkids started moving away. And I think I was actually the first one to move away. Me and my younger cousin were the first ones to move and go away and go to college and start doing our own thing. My younger cousin was doing my older cousin was doing her own thing, but she did it closer to home.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Were there any like traditions your family did back when you were young that maybe you want to continue today, or kind of like maybe change it a little bit differently, and you kind of want to carry on to like your family and your son at all?
Yeah, there was one that my mom and I used to do, and it was,
or vice versa. Are there any traditions that you just don't do anymore and you're happy?
This is one that we used to do that I didn't appreciate at the time, and now I wish I could, but it's impossible.
Right.
And what it was is that the school district that I grew up in, my mom was also a teacher. In middle school at it, and the school district every year for starting in early November did a canned food drive. I think a lot of areas do this thing.
Yep.
But this one was specifically run by the school district, and all of the cans that came in from all the various elementary, middle, and high schools all came to my middle school, which was the school that my mom worked at too.
Yeah.
And so they came in and filled the stage in our auditorium all fall, and then over Christmas break was the organization of it. Everything got categorized, put on big, and then you got they put out boxes on the big lunch tables and everything, and they had people that would grab like, okay, here's 75,000 cans of corn or something like that, and they're going to go down. Each box on a table was for a family, and each box got a can of corn.
Right.
And they did that for all the different things. And then on Christmas Eve, volunteers would come and pick up boxes and deliver them to specific families.
Oh, nice.
They all had an address they went to.
Yeah.
And we did that for 4 or 5 years that I can remember, and probably longer that I'm misremembering. But it was, that was something I didn't think about until I started thinking about what we were going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And that's something I wish we could do. And the reason I say it's impossible is because, not that canned food drives don't happen today, but I'll never get back that awe of seeing like a mountain of food and and delivering that, and not quite understanding why the families that were getting it were so appreciative of it, but knowing that they were.
Yeah.
And my mom, being who she was, chose to deliver boxes that were in areas that were a little harder to get to.
Yep.
And so if you're a little harder to get to, it means you're probably a little harder off too. And I never understood how it got planned or who decided who got a box or not, that kind of stuff. And honestly, if I knew that at the time, it probably would have lost some of its magic.
Yeah.
But it's something that I wish I could get back. And at the same time, I don't, because it's a good memory.
Yeah.
So
you mentioned the word magic. I think that's something I've struggled with a little bit too, is when you're young, like the holidays were magical. You know what I mean? Like, especially Christmas. Like Christmas, it is magical. But then you get older and you have a job and
again, finances and bills and and all sorts of things. I mean, is there any part of the holidays that feel the same now as it did when you were young? Because I think if I can answer that question a little bit to myself, I struggle with that. It is different. And I think we as people struggle when things are different, like when things change. And I think nostalgia could be great, but I also think nostalgia can really rob your joy. And so I have danced that dance of nostalgia bringing me joy, but also nostalgia stealing my joy. Because I think a part of me wants to experience everything that I experienced when I was younger, but I mean, obviously the truth is that's impossible to a degree, right? But I'm kind of bummed about that. Like I feel like now, like, and again, this is a church podcast, but also when you work for a church during Christmas, like it's a busy, busy time.
Oh yeah.
And so there is a part of me, and this is I might share this in a sermon later, but I know there's church members listening to this, but like I'll be honest, this is an honest podcast. Like Christmas Day, I was kind of relieved that Christmas was over just because of my hours at work are down and I'm with my family. And but at the same time, you're just like, I want Christmas to be over because when Christmas is over, I'm not working as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's a balance of working at a church in general. And it's been a balance, but I'm just curious for you, like, again, how are the holidays different now as an adult, as a father, as a husband, and how have you dealt with the differences of the holidays when you were younger to the holidays you are now?
Sure. So I thought of a kind of an analogy, and I got to be, it kind of, let me back up there. I feel like I went from being an audience member, a member of the audience during the holidays, to a stage manager. And I got to do a little bit of stage managing for like amateur theater that you got to be in and everything. And everybody, I was under Noel's skirt for several years in a row.
That's a weird thing to say, but it's true.
Yep.
Mother Ginger, Nutcracker.
Yep. Under Noel's. Yep. Yeah. So, but being a stage manager is extremely stressful.
Yep.
And even in the context that the analogy I'm trying to build right now, it can be very stressful. And there's lots of work that goes into it. But once the production goes and it's gone and it's happened, it's over, and you think back like that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome. And you get to, if you're lucky enough, you get to see the expressions on the audience members, and in this case now the audience member is my son.
Yep.
And so I try my hardest to keep that magic alive. I know that the magic it's still magical, but I'm the one creating it.
Yeah.
I go from the one creating it to, or go from being the recipient of it or being in awe of it to creating it for somebody else.
Right. Do you struggle with balance at all, as far as just balance of work and social life, husband?
What's social life?
Father, but also like as a person of faith, like just trying to keep your cup filled. Like, how do you, because I feel like in the holidays, it's almost harder. Like everything it's just on high octane, if you will. Like everything is just so much, it's like more pressure. And balance is key to life in general. But like, how as you as a person of faith, like how do you find balance and making sure your cup is filled and God is speaking into your life as you are trying to, fill the cup of others at your work and your spouse and your son? Like in what ways do you find balance during the busy time of the holidays?
I don't do a good job of it. I'll be totally honest. I do a terrible job of keeping my cup full and not tipping it over. I tend to give my personal joy, or the things that give me personal joy, usually take a back seat during this time of year.
Yep.
And more often than not, I've got a great partner and my wife, and we're able to recognize when each other are hitting that point during the holidays or during any stressful time.
Right.
And be like, hey, you need to go and go. Like, she'll tell me like, hey, go build something. And that'll bring, or I'll tell her like, hey, I need to go for a drive.
Right.
And she'll look at me like, okay,
yeah,
let me know when you get back.
Yeah.
or pick me up a coffee on your way back or something like that. And she's totally understanding with that kind of thing. So I have had to learn how to rely on her to not only like trust that she can pick up where I fall on certain things, but also where she can recognize when I'm having a tough time faster or more accurately than I can for myself.
Yeah.
So
it's fascinating because I was thinking like Thanksgiving is a holiday where we should be reflecting on all the things we're thankful for. And Christmas is a holiday where we reflect on the birth of Jesus. And it's like, what two better things out there for us to focus on the daily, right? Is expressing thanks or having an attitude of realizing all that we have in our life and then expressing thanks and showing our thanks, but also the significance of Jesus being born and the Christmas story. And so these two great things, these two great holidays, and it's like that just gets kind of not thrown to the wayside, but so much stuff distracts us.
Commercialized it.
From yeah. And so I think that's the part too of why the holidays are hard for me too, because there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
So much going on. And I just want to get to the basics of the holidays. But I feel like now that we're adults and we work and all that stuff, it's just so much harder. And I don't know, people, I don't know if you guys are listening, if you struggle with that, if the balance and trying to, the reason of the season, I know that's quirky, but I feel like sometimes that stuff does get lost because of the stressors of life and the pressure of life and the things we can control and the things we can control. And so I think that's a part of me growing up during the holidays that I've really struggled with is just, there's just a lot on our plate. And so, so Josh, like for the holidays, is it more joyful for you now as an adult? Is it stressful? Is it a mix of both? Like what are some of the things you struggle with now as an adult during the holidays?
So first off, it is probably more stressful.
Yeah.
But you can see in my notes, that's like, I scribbled that. I circled the word stress.
Okay.
But I can still like, I've found that I can get joy through my son.
Yeah.
He's become another way I can fill my cup. And as he's getting older, he's so much a 6-year-old right now. It's driving me crazy. But I can see him getting older every single day, every single week. And I am very much looking forward to doing more things with him during the holidays and during the rest of the year, but definitely during the holidays. There's lots of things that I cannot wait till he's old enough to do with him.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he and I can sit down and have a Lego building session that doesn't end in me going outside for a few minutes.
Been there. Yeah.
I can't wait to, go and rake leaves with him. Something simple as that. Play outside.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. When I don't have to like worry about him hurting himself constantly.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think that's part of the life too, is riding the waves of all the different emotions of joy and stress and the mix of all of that and how. But more than anything, I think when we try to ride those waves, this is how I feel, people. I think sometimes it robs us of the moment, and I have told myself many times, Josh, like be present in the moment, be present right here. You're not going to get this moment back, And so that's what I try to do is when I am stressed, like just be present. Each situation is its own thing. And so, so what lessons have you learned as an adult about gratitude and generosity and celebration? As you just said, life is stressful. Do you still find time to show gratitude and celebrate the holidays and also give thanks to God?
Well, that's the goal, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the easy answer is yes. But it's been a struggle to learn how to do all that stuff still. And it always has been. Every time I think I've figured out like the best way to show my gratitude to my family and friends, I feel like I fall short in that kind of aspect. And there's always different different or more ways I can show generosity or be generous, that kind of thing. And I struggle with that stuff a lot. It's something that I find myself trying not to actively think about, because I will dwell on that too long, and then it starts affecting everything else I'm trying to do or not do.
Right.
I start falling into holes where I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to achieve the goal of showing this person how much they mean to me, so I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
Which is detrimental to the relationship from both sides.
Right.
So it's really tough. It's really tough. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've found myself to be overwhelmed with guilt, because I'll be really happy that Christmas is over, because I mean, the whole work thing, right? Working at church. And so a part of me does feel guilty. Like, did I miss it? Did I miss the moments to celebrate? Did I miss the moments of sharing gratitude? So that's my fear, is I'll look back and be like, I wasn't present, and if I'm not present, then I'm not present to be there and celebrate and experience joy with others. And so I feel like guilty that I wasn't present. And so I try to like just take every moment as I can and be present, and try to just really like focus on one day at a time. And I think that's a good lesson in general for adulthood, is one day at a time. I get really upset when I worry about worrying.
You're right.
You know what I mean? I get so frustrated with myself when I have anxiety about future anxiety. And so
you look at that date on the calendar,
like,
that day is going to suck. I'm going to start worrying about it right now.
Yeah. It's like, what am I doing? And so I have learned, and I think kids have a great way of reminding you that life's not about you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always try to tell new parents that, now that we have our youth, right, getting older and becoming parents.
That's crazy.
I go, kids, they just remind you every day it's not about you. And as much as that could be, there's pros and cons to that, right? But sometimes it's like a good reminder, you know. Like I was, so yeah, we gave a present to one of my kids, and it's like, it was a Lego set. It wasn't a big deal. It was just a small one. It was like the San Francisco landscape.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, we give my kid what he loves. Mark, he loves San Francisco. For those of you that don't know him, that's his favorite city. And he gets like the Lego set from my mom, which is like Golden Gate Bridge. It's like 500 pieces. And he's super excited about it. And so the next day he's like, hey, can you help me with my set? And I'm like,
oh boy, here we go.
It's like the last thing I wanted to do. Like, I just, you know, it's Christmas Day. It's like, I just want to relax. But like the look on his face.
Yeah.
He was so excited. And really, to be honest too, Josh, like, he doesn't need my help. He just wanted to deal with me.
Yeah.
And so I had a moment of like, Noel, don't mess this up. Like, don't waste this opportunity. Like, get up off the couch, go into the dining room and sit next to your son, because you're going to regret it.
Yeah.
You're going to regret it.
It's amazing. I've had similar experiences with my 6-year-old Logan, and he'll say something to me, and it'll be like, you learn to recognize those moments as a dad.
Thank God that God like taps your shoulder sometimes.
Yeah.
And like,
it's like, hey,
pay
attention.
This is a moment.
This is going to be a memory.
A core memory.
This could either come out in a therapy session in 20 years for them, or as a cool memory on a podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, God. Like, literally, thank you, Jesus, for tapping my shoulder. Because it's like, I'll be honest, sometimes I just have my blinders on and selfishness and whatever. And I feel like, God, thank you for tapping my shoulder and be like, this is it. Core memory. Inside Out, Disney. But this is it. Like,
I can't watch that movie anymore.
Make a memory.
That was a one and done movie. I can't do it.
Also, too, I don't know about you. This is kind of not off topic. It's on topic. No one really prepared me for this when I was younger about marriage. Is you grow up doing your holiday thing, right? Like, your family does your holiday thing. And then you meet someone and you marry someone and their family does their holiday thing. And no one ever prepared me on like marrying someone and trying to figure out how to do like the holidays together, when each family does like different, each family celebrates differently, which is great. That's what makes life great.
But I'll be honest, people, like it's interesting. I'm not saying my wife and I fought about this, but like both of us weren't prepared to go through the holidays not knowing what our holiday background was or is. And so I married into someone who celebrates Christmas. Oh, like
hard,
people. I was not prepared for that. I mean, we had 7 Christmas trees in my house. We barely had one growing up. You know what I mean? And so I guess I want to ask you, sorry, I didn't really prepare you for this, but like what your wonderful wife, Nancy, who's great. Shout out to Nancy. But how, like, did you go through like some growing pains as far as, again, that's not something you really talk about in the first date, second date, fifth. How does your family do Christmas? You know what I mean? I feel like the only way to find out is to like,
you have to experience it.
You have to experience it.
You have to ride that ride.
Dive deep into the deep end of the pool. So I'm curious. I could talk about this for days. My wife's family does all the holidays different than mine. But was there a certain like tradition or holiday where you and Nancy kind of just had to be like, oh, we do things differently. Let's figure this out.
Yeah. Again, it kind of like I said, my family is a lot smaller than hers. My brother and sister are both half brother and sister.
Okay.
So they're both much older than me. My sister's 12 years older than me, and my brother's 15 years older than me. And I have no memory of living with them. None whatsoever. I didn't really get to know them. I didn't get to know my brother really until I was in my 20s. But my sister and I have always been very close. But so that goes to the fact that my family was a little bit smaller, so what we did was very compact. We could all fit in one little house at the same time without too much trouble. Like it wasn't like we have to rent tables to come in to like get everybody to sit down.
It was a small intimate setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so Nancy's family is much bigger. By the time I entered the picture, she had I think 3 nephews, maybe more actually.
Okay.
And 1 niece, although I can't remember when she was born.
But a lot bigger.
A lot bigger. She has 2 older siblings. She's the baby of the family, but her mom was also a foster parent and adopted a couple of the kids over the years. And so there's a much bigger extended family. I've got a couple of nephews on that side of the family that are in their 30s, basically. And they have their own kids now. And so what that means is that it was difficult to get everybody there. And sometimes the holidays were a multi-day affair. Sometimes it was like, I wasn't used to
a long weekend.
Yeah. I wasn't used to the fact that like, well, it's a lot of juggling to try and get everybody there at the same time. And it was kind of strange to me that like, I think because of that fact, they don't all celebrate Thanksgiving together at the same time. They all kind of do their own things.
Right.
They all go off they all have traditions that they've been doing since they were all in high school.
Yeah.
Which made that holiday much easier. When Nancy and I were traveling during Thanksgiving, we don't anymore. But when we would go to my house, my mom's house for Thanksgiving. That was just what we did.
One-stop shop.
Exactly. We'd do the phone call to everybody and say, hey, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. And that was when the preparation for Christmas started too. Like where are we going? Who's getting what, that kind of thing. But, but like you said, it is a juggle and they don't prepare you for that part of it. I could not imagine, and I know people that have, but getting married during this time of year.
Yeah.
And then you have like, hey, welcome back from your honeymoon. Whose house are you going to for Christmas first?
Right.
Not like at all, but first, because it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
But we've over the years we've gotten into a rhythm. And actually this was the first year that we did not go anywhere for Christmas. We went before and we're going to go in a couple weeks after.
So how was that? How was that different?
It was another one of those things where it took a lot of work on my and Nancy's part to make it happen.
Yep.
And the payoff was, in my opinion, a little anticlimactic, but it was really important to me that Logan wake up in his own bed on Christmas morning, because this is the first year he's 6, and this is the first year he's done that.
Right.
Actually, maybe not, but the first couple years don't really count. I mean, he doesn't know what's going on. But and so we kind of went hard on Santa. We played Santa up a lot. Santa's a great tool.
Yep.
We introduced Elf.
Yep.
The Elf showed up at our house for the first time this year. That was a great tool. But we went hard on it, and we kept at it. And Christmas morning was great. It was, woke up, he did his normal routine in the morning, and then he came into our bed. He didn't. I think he forgot it was Christmas morning. I really think he did, because he came in wanting to get in the bed. I'm like, dude, go look under the tree, see if Santa came last night. And it dawned on him, and they went running out of the bedroom and into the living room, and he's like, oh my gosh. And it was the whole thing after that.
Awesome.
But honestly, by the end of it, it all wrapped up by like 9. And I'm like, what do I do for the rest of the day?
A lot of day left.
Yeah.
A lot of day left.
That's what, after that, I realized that the sink was leaking and I couldn't fix that until the night. It was a day. But it is a juggling act. But part of that, the reason I tell the story of like him waking up in his own bed is, as a couple, we had to, and we're still learning this, but we had to learn to set our own boundaries with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are the traditions that we want to happen, and this is how we're making them happen.
Yeah.
And by doing so, we're trying to build up Logan's sense of tradition. And someday he'll come up with his own ideas and he'll be like, why would I want to wake up in my own bed? I'd rather be at grandma's house.
Right.
Something like that. But, he'll have to figure that out on his own.
Yeah. No, for sure. I remember some of my earliest memories of holidays is just being in the car, traveling to different sides of the family. And I'm not saying that's a bad memory, but that's just what I remember. Like, there's a part of you that can't help what you remember. And so,
were you guys big Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Yeah. So my wife opens all gifts on Christmas Eve. We didn't do anything till Christmas Day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So that was
a whole Christmas Eve thing.
That was a big adjustment. My wife's family cooks chili on Christmas Eve, and my family would always make homemade pizzas, and that was a change.
Okay.
So again, just different traditions. Chili on Christmas Eve, whatever. Obviously, we have that. I didn't win that argument, but you know what? It is what it is. And so, but it goes back to that balance of figuring life out. Like, that's so much of life you have to figure out, and sometimes you're not always prepared for it. I think the holidays brings all that up at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, not Halloween, but Thanksgiving. What are we going to do about that? Where are we going? Who are we seeing? What are we eating?
How are we going to eat the antipasta salad?
Who's cooking what? Christmas Eve. Like, yeah. We celebrated Thanksgiving on the Saturday after, just because of different family stuff. So it's like the holidays just constantly bring up so many things. I feel like life is all about balance, communication, celebrating, but also like priorities, boundaries, budgeting. Like it's just like the holidays just really does involve every single thing as people. And I think as I've gotten older, like I'm not going to say I'm not joyful about them, but I've done a lot of, like I said before in the podcast, I've done a lot of thinking about it, and just thinking about how the holidays now, as a husband and as a father, as an adult, it's just, you gotta fight harder to find joy. You got to fight harder. You really got to fight harder to find joy and peace. And also, as you kind of mentioned, you got to fight harder for God to like speak into your life. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, was just that balancing act. So how, kind of like my last question is like, so Josh, like, how did, like, moving forward, how are you going to like fight for joy and fight for God to speak into your life and or fill your cup rather? And how are you going to fight to like keep the holidays kind of like the reason for the season? How are you going to, fight for the reason for the holidays to be the reason and not anything else?
Yeah. And the reason for the season is such a corny thing.
It is. I don't know how else to say it though, but you know what I'm trying to say though.
It's something that my father-in-law would have in gigantic letters on his front lawn every year for the holidays.
Oh, so he was
big into that.
No, we're not doing that.
No. But no, I hear what you're saying. It's for me, I have to try and get myself to take a step back and actively recognize, like I said, I find myself shrugging off the taps I get from God. Like, hey, this is a moment.
Yep.
Make sure you remember it and take part in it.
Right.
I've gotten really good at like brushing those off my shoulder at the time and be like, no, I got other things I got to do right now. Or I've been doing so much today, I don't have the energy for this right now.
Yeah.
But honestly, I do have the energy for it. I just have to do it. And so that's what I find myself doing, or needing to do more, working on. I feel like I'm getting better at it. But I think this year has also been particularly difficult too. So, it's just, and I can't no way to identify why.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
It's just been tough. It would be a lot easier if I could figure out why. So
I think for me, the fact that I'm like acknowledging it, I almost feel peaceful about it. Does that make sense? Like I think a part of me is like, all right, Noel, this is something you struggle with.
Yeah.
And I have become more aware of it this year more than any other year. Like more than any other time in my life or any other time in my adult life, I have realized like, Noel, this is something. And again, maybe you just said something. Maybe this year was tougher for whatever reason. I can't really pin it on the head right now. But I felt like more than ever, like I struggled with that joy and peace and being my cup filled this year more than ever. And so I think for me to at least know that and acknowledge that, I almost like got to set a reminder next year on my phone, like November 1st, to be like, hey, remember last year? Because I don't want to forget it. I think life moves so fast sometimes. Like my fear is that I'll forget how much I struggled with it this year, the next year, right? But life is different. But I think a key thing for me is like, all right, Noel, like you've tapped into it, like chew on it. Because sometimes I feel like I'm not aware of it at all. But yeah, so.
Are you able to use worship to get out of that?
Or it's hard. It's hard.
As a youth pastor,
right.
Like you don't get to worship on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Usually.
My work mind takes me.
Yeah.
I'm always worried about like fire, like, well, not literal fires, but putting out fires. Sure. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sundays are hard, but that's where Deeper helps me a lot. Cause like these youth here at Christ Lutheran Church, they'll say things and I'm like,
oh, that
was pretty good.
You and I have talked about this.
That was
before.
Pretty good. Youth.
I go on these. I get way more out of chaperoning youth trips than they will ever get from me.
Yeah,
I get so much more from their perspective. So because I've thought about that a lot over the years as I've gotten to know Pastor Brian and Sean and you, about the fact that Sundays kind of suck.
Yeah,
they're not the same, and you don't get an opportunity to worship.
It's hard.
And I've often thought like, you guys should have like a little private, like 20-30 minutes, have your own worship, do your own thing before or after or something like that. Nobody wants to do it after, but
no. I will say, though, Lori mentioned it, like Silent Night, Christmas Eve at 11 o'clock. Like there's
I almost got in my truck and came. Everybody else in the house was asleep. All the presents were wrapped. I'm like, I really thought about it.
That song, there's a moment where I'm actually finally like, where I'm soaking it in.
Yeah.
There's a Good Friday that
few worships you can actually get in the moment.
There's a few times. Yeah. But again, that's where I love doing the youth group here at Deeper, 11 a.m. Shout out. But
shameless plug.
No
free ads.
Yeah. Cause like, again, they speak into my life more than they probably would ever admit. I would ever admit. So yeah. What are you doing for New Year's? And are you staying up to midnight?
No, not on purpose anyway.
Yeah.
Nancy and I were talking about that, how like it goes from like, I have no problem staying up. Like the party's not going to start until 11:30 and we're going to go till the sun rises.
Yeah.
To looking at the clock and man, it's like, it's only 8:45. I got 15 minutes before the ball drops in New York and then I can go to bed.
Yeah. And midnight somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. No, we have a couple of people coming over. A little kid that Logan's going to play with. We're going to go out to dinner with them and then they're going to come over and do a little toast and then go to bed. We might be celebrating New Year's in Iceland or something like
right
that. Who knows?
I feel like now that my teenager is getting older, she's gonna want to stay up later. So I feel like
she's going out.
But like, at least like stay up to midnight.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So like the last couple of years I've had the luxury of going to bed at 10 because all my kids are just tired.
Yeah.
But now like as your kids get older, they can stay up later, like physically. So now my fear is that my oldest is going to think it's cool to be up to midnight. And I know that my wife is going to be like, that's you. So That'll be fun. And then on New Year's Day, join me in Cayucas noon for the Polar Bear Plunge. Little Thompson tradition here. So
it's cold.
It is cold. It's supposed to be rainy too. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Getting dry.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope this conversation gave you something new to think about, whether it was an idea, a story, or just a fresh perspective on the holiday season or just everyday life. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future episodes. Again, Josh will be on plenty more times moving forward, but also share this podcast with friends if you don't mind, or family who might enjoy it too. Again, I know some of you like to listen to this as you're working out or taking a walk or driving. We love hearing from our listeners, so connect with us online. We are on Instagram, also on Facebook as well. And
Tell us what your favorite Christmas gift was.
Oh, I don't even know.
No, the listeners.
Oh yeah, tell us what.
Comment what
your
your favorite.
I thought you were asking me.
Comment what your favorite
Christmas gift was. Mine was a Nintendo 64. I'm aging myself with. I got 4 controllers with it too.
What?
Yep, we love hearing from our listeners. So do tell us what your favorite Christmas gift was. Until next time, thank you, Josh, for having us. My name is Noel Thompson. Keep asking questions, stay curious, and enjoy the little moments that make life meaningful. And above all, know that God's love is always with you. His grace is always with you, that you are loved and accepted. And shout out to Christ Within Church for making this podcast, just literally making this podcast a thing. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, and I hope that you all have a happy New Year. And we will see you next week.
Amen.